Ghost Stalker, I just felt like maybe my audio needed adjusting, so I did it. I did it all by my lonesome self. Bam! Boom! Kaboom! He's gone rogue. Updated. Alright, looks good to me. Alright. Uh-oh. Alright, this is it. This is the moment. I think I need more land. I think I have enough counters. We need more lands. Velron says, good evening, Day 9, I love you. Good afternoon, Velron, I love you too, man. I'm brewing a half pot of coffee here. That's a good looking Lando Calrissian. Do I want to go to 5? I think I do. Going to 5, staying alive. Shadow Gamer 264 says, take my money. 1,000 bits. It's 10 bucks. Thanks, Shadow Gamer. Member of the Shadow Government? Absolutely not. We're never, ever going to allow Teferi, quite contrary, to land on that'd be too scary. Okay, so we're also going to do one of this. It's either a blue spell that we can counter for small amounts, or it's a non-blue spell that we can counter with the Dovin's Veto. It's not going to be a creature, though. How do you brew your coffee? Yeah, I grind up the beans, I put them at the top of the funnel, and then I just let it happen. Just let it happen. Okay, we have some choisissez here. The real danger is Lukka landing, huh? Yeah, see, I think this is fine. Caseman 984 with 5 gifties. Hey! How's it going, Caseman? Quarantine friendo. Doomhammer 88 says, boy, I watched Purge play Dota for a couple of games and he's having a really rough day. Super tilt mode and he seems genuinely unhappy and says the quarantine is getting to him. So I thought I'd drop in here for some stress-free magic. Well, Doomhammer, I'm freaking out! There are many ways in which I'm having a hard time! Ah! Please, pay 3. I insist. I mean, this time has been hard. This isn't a fight. I understand, man. I feel like I understand. Everyone's having a rough time. Everyone's having a rough go of it. Do you really want to bounce this? Is that what you want to do? Yeah. I feel like I'm reading the signs. I feel like I'm reading the signs of the times, and I'm not gonna abide by it. I think this is a perfectly acceptable card to come down. Hexproof, gets around Dream Trawler, all that. Strider Gaming says, how many lands did you put in a Yorion control deck? Somewhere between 35 and 39. I think I was running 37 in mine. Splitting the difference. Feeling good about it. Yeah, poor Purge, man. Yeah, I've had my own little freakouts and shit. I talked to a doc about the fact that I was having like little twitches over my body. Like my nose just twitch here and twitch. It's like, yeah, no, that's almost always from stress. And I'm like, okay. me what you want to do,
I am
friend.
not making this up as I go.
Oh, yeah, Twitch can also be an electrolyte imbalance. That's true. That's also true. That's also true. So I started to pound Gatorade. Is somebody gonna play a Lukka? A Lukka? A Lukka? A Lukka? A Lukka? Hey? A Lukka? Huh? A Lukka? Hey? A Lukka? So cool. Commence the bing bongs. Ow. I can't believe you've done this. Would Arcana Sun's Grace not be 100% better than Dream Trawler in this deck? Well, we effectively only have 7 enchantments. Because we board these out almost always.
A matter of time.
I don't really cast the Shark Typhoons. So I think this is better because it's solving the problem of Shawnee wants to draw.
Stand by and watch.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the play is pretty clear.
That didn't go according to plan.
So we're somewhat Lukka-proof right now. I mean, Lukka can technically steal the Elspeth Conquers Death, but we're doing okay. Phantom Very says they were bluffing a Clarion for sure. Sean called their bluff whether he knows it or not. Yeah, I mean, like, I just don't think there's... You got it, man. Much appreciated.
Let's slow this
That
down.
one back.
I've got it.
Good. Yep. Draws. Let's go ahead and take out this one. That seems like a good play. We don't want the Essence Scatter or the Meletis. We do want the Tails and the Mystic Disputes. The Veto. Ito. A. We don't need to batter the Shatter the Sky. Narset seems real nice here. Harumph. This is probably good enough. It kills our Dream Trawlers, and it kills my heart. Kinda don't think I want this. I don't think I want it. Do you think parts of the Lukka deck getting banned, given according to Goldfish it's 20% of the meta already? I don't know if something being 20% of the meta is necessarily bad. I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think back to when Simic was 75% of Mythic Championship 5. I will do this first, and I will not enter it tapped, because I don't think there's a single turn 2 blue thing I would ever want to counter. Maybe I should have countered that. I don't know. Just send it to the bin. I think it's probably better to just leave up stuff versus Teferi. Haha! Yeah, I think generally speaking, Unmoored Ego is just, it's just so weak of a card. You know what, I will take one land. I don't know if I want two quite right now. Yeah, I really don't know if I would want to run. Now, Unmoored Ego, what it does is it's pay 3 mana, discard a card, do nothing to your opponent. It's actually really bad for us. All it does is it shuts down something eventual. Like, all Winota decks are just spamming out a ton of small little boppers. Baby Chandra, Legion Warboss were very, very scary threats, as is. So what I want to be able to shut down is the Fires of Invention here. This is why I didn't counter the Omen. That's a totally fine one to do. I would like Narset to be able to land, but I just don't think she's going to be able to. It's going to have to rely on an army of Mystic Disputes. Now, this Omen was a real fucking pain in the ass, man. Wow. I'm wondering still if I should have countered this Omen of the Sea. Probably pass. Let's try to set ourselves up for success. Probably like this, actually. So then I can, like, play this puppy. I mean, we have a lot of turns of damage incoming. These 1/1 guys. God, like, Omen of the Sun. Maybe I just should counter Omen of the Sun. Maybe that's what my mistake is. I think I just need to sincerely counter Omen of the Sun. Because the 1/1s just own me. Like, there's precisely one thing I can get to sort of stop the bleed, which would be starting to run something like a... Ugh. I guess Castle Ardenvale's helped too. I don't know. This is just so tricky. Not a lot of damage in this deck. It's just a bunch of Agents of Treachery and like Yorion and control cards. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We want to go to Counter City here.
Focused and disciplined, with thoughtfulness before action.
It's gonna get bopped twice. So worth it getting an extra Castle Ardenvale into the deck? I don't think so.
I must stay focused.
And now there's not enough for Lukka. Huh? What a weird and wubulous world it is. Maybe this gets cracked now. Maybe not. Rollins, correct me if I'm wrong, from a statistical point of view, will Unmoored Ego not gain the card loss back once villain draws a land instead of a spell because their deck is not that now lower on spells? That comparison is actually just incorrect. It just does not. The statistics just doesn't work that way. The statistics just don't, unfortunately. Because the statement is, let's say our opponent had, for simplicity, had 50 cards in their deck, and you Unmoored Ego away 4, and now they have 46 cards in their deck. What you have in effect done is you have changed their land distribution from, I'm just going to hand wave it, from like 40% of their deck to 42% of the deck, or 45% of the deck, or maybe from 40 to 50. Like, it's... So you're not guaranteeing that they draw a land. Moreover, land is not a useless card. Land is a useful card in Magic.
Such violence is upsetting.
So what you've done is you have put them, not you put them in the situation that's basically the same situation as now, except you haven't done anything. I guess this is the one. Now I can actually kill these guys with Castle Ardenvale, which is good. What would actually make it like a legitimate comparison is if it replaced the card. Like if it replaced the Unmoored Ego with a card that did something negative. But even then, the problem with Unmoored Ego was not the benefit that it had in the long term. Unmoored Ego very obviously has a clear benefit in the long term. By the way, this is safe to do now because we have a Dovin's Veto up. So if our opponent tries to cast a Lukka now, we can just immediately zoop it. Oh, I guess, fuck. Our opponent can just cast Yorion. Okay, I'm really bad. I mean, there's technically not enough land to do that, but I feel like enough land will come up. Like giving people curses in Dominion. Yeah, that might be a good comparison. But yeah, the problem is, if our opponent, I assume our opponent was going to play a land this turn, but maybe they just don't have it. It is... what the fuck am I talking about? The problem for Velrun is that it wasn't that Unmoored Ego didn't do things in the long run. It definitely does a positive thing in the long run. The problem is that you are really fucking yourself in the short term. You pay 3 mana to affect the board, not at all. To affect your opponent's hand, not at all. And you have to use a whole card in your hand to do this. Antibody says, but aren't there enough decks in the meta that run off? I feel like my land does matter. Let's go ahead and spot this. Anyways. No, there's really not a lot of decks that run off one card in the meta. That I can think of, at least. So right now we have a ability to slowly grow in power, but I don't know if we are necessarily fucking killing it, bro. Fucking crushing it. This isn't the worst, but it's also not the best. And if we wished to point to an error, what we would say is it was an error to have played the 1/1 to stop the 1/1. Because now our opponent draws a card. I think that's okay to do here. I think I want to leave up the absorb. Uh-oh, here they come. Banging a bonging in. Oh, that's a fucking really good one. Ooh, that's like just so fucking good. Oh, that's so good. That's so fucking good. Bah. This game is going on for 3 hours. That's true. I think this is the third best of 3 we've played with this Azorious Control deck. I'm not necessarily trying to gobble up the points as fast as possible, but we really should switch to a faster deck at some point. Yes, but actually no. Let us commence the rudimentary bing bongs. And no. This outcome is so awesome. Oh, that's a good one. Narset, Parter of Turrets. Please, become active.
Meditate and prepare.
Let us active. Oh my god! My name is Sean Plod, and I'm the luckiest boy who ever did live. Yes, yes, fuck yes. Oh, I want to play this. Suck it in. Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. And the funny thing is that an Asian Treachery just literally bonks us. Fuck. This is a very thin play. Here's my reasoning. My opponent doesn't have anything that they can play multiple times that will scare me. What I'm scared about is total cards in hand. So I want to leave this Dovin's Veto up to counter the things that actively mess with and hurt me. That... actually one of those examples. Okay, I'm going to do this. Castle Ardenvale actually lets us be protected against this. Ooh, oh, that was risky. Now, my logic for... okay, the only thing that really screws us is an Agent of Treachery. So, what am I doing? I am first trying to see if... is there a reasonable logic train of thought that would tell us that our opponent has no Agent of Treachery in hand? One's been played, and Lukka the Coppercast was attempted. So this says to me, probably we're okay. Probably we're okay.
Your prowess.
We have double Omen
Don't
of the
worry.
Sea
I got this.
to deal with some of this stuff. I also don't care that our opponent has a Fires of Invention, because I've cast 3 Mystical Disputes. Okay, this is good. This is good. We're playing this so slow and so deliberately, like a Simon Smarty Pants. 2 bottom. You love to see it. And no scry at the start of the turn, which I think was just an error. I still think that there's no Agent of Treachery in hand. I still think that. We're almost certainly going to Shark Typhoon at the end of the turn. So first things first, I'm going to Omen of the Sea to see if we can get some sort of counter for this. Our opponent can't counter because we have Teferi. Should be 1 Agent of Treachery left, sometimes 2. And our opponent can only cast 1 more spell this turn. And there it is. I feel like a bad person. Probably this. Or this one. Okay, Fairy's fine. Might not even be a good reason to attack, but... I want to see what I want to get, because our opponent can't do anything else with their turn. They've cast their 2 spells with Fires of Invention. Fires of Invention, I find... Do I want either of these? I think I need none of these. Eliminating one will be fine. I don't think I need these. I mean, like I'm winning on the board. What I need to do is be very careful to not lose on the board now.
I've got time.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 Absorbs left. I have 1 Mystic Dispute left. I have 2 Tails Ends left. I have... So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I have 5. I have 5 counters. 5 counters. If I'm looking at the top 4 and I have 5 chances, that's pretty high. Our opponent could also have a Shark Typhoon this turn. I think we just cast it. So no Shark Typhoon from opponent. No Shark Typhoon, I think. Alright, here we go! We allow that. That's fine, because I can just kill that next turn. I really want to refill on this coffee, but I feel as though I'm in a winning position. Narset into Narset. A classic move. Cycling 1, we draw 1 card immediately, replacing the Shark Typhoon that we may not have necessarily needed. We then have this be large enough that our Dream Trawler is a 4/5, which gives us the chance to draw a card, except it doesn't because there's a Narset. Sometimes I'm so good I scare even myself. When you're this good, what can you do? What can you do when you're this good? I mean, there's almost no hope left when you're this good. I will actually draw. Do you see how I next level myself? Do you see how when I'm this good? This is a relatively trivially correct play. Our opponent has shown no Agent, no Lukka. We eat this, a Narset falls, we let the enemy Narset resolve, probably. Let's see what happens on this scry. 1 top, 1 bottom. We let the Narset resolve. We let the Narset resolve. We simply don't give a damn about the Narset resolving. Tail's End, to prevent the Elspeth Conquers Death from doing anything. And we let the Narset resolve. How slick and sick are we, huh? Tail's End, a weird all-star. Okay? I'll just say it's a weird all-star card. It's a very funky, weird little all-star cardy guy. There's a lot of good shit in there.
Meditate and prepare.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
I know. I know. Hit me with them wub 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 wub. No, I'm pretty sure I just... Pretty sure I just get this. Hope you like games that go on for... This Tail's End card has been weirdly effective. You know what I mean? It's been like weirdly effective. It's a weird card. Tails end this. I'd rather make my opponent cast a spell. 0 top, 2 bottom. That's what you want to see. I think we're playing this out very well. That resolves. Who loves the noise? Wub, 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 wub. Okay.
Hone your prowess.
We can draw one because there's a Narset. Very, very groovy. Okay. Commence the bonkening.
I was not prepared for this.
That's more like it.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers. Keep an open mind.
Okay. Okay, we are playing nice and slow. 0 top, 2 bottom. We have a 3/3 shark ready to win. Armed and ready to smash. We played well, and it took forever.